There is no old business, so we'll go to new business. First item is the alcohol license for Leticia Saavedra doing business as Los Petrillos Mexican Restaurant Grill. Ms. Billis, will you do the investigative report, please?
The applicant is Leticia Saavedra, type of license restaurant, retail liquor, class 1. Establishment is Los Petrillos Mexican Restaurant and Grill, located at 1709 South Broad Street. There was no record indicated on the background investigation. There were 5 businesses surveyed with no objections. There were 5 residences surveyed with 4 no objections and 1 objection. The nearest church and school footage requirements were met. The license application is in order. Health, fire, and building inspections comply, and zoning verification complies.
Thank you. So that being said, this is the time and place for a public hearing. Is there anyone here against this? Is there anyone here against this? Is there anyone here for this? Thank you. So that being said, that will close the public hearing. Do I have a motion to approve Leticia Saavedra doing business as Los Petrillos Mexican Restaurant and Grill?
I make the motion.
Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion?
This is the old, very clean building across from the old high school, correct? How long have you been open?
2 weeks?
2 weeks?
Yes.
I noticed, I believe it was Sunday night or Saturday night, that the place was packed, so that's a good sign. I thought.
Any other discussion? Not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Next item is the resolution for public transportation. We're looking at $47,535 on that. Do I have a motion to approve $47,535 for the resolution for public transportation, please?
I'll make it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
It's something we do every year, is that correct?
Yes.
Any other discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Next item is the resolution for the sign, to apply for the sign coming in off of Highway 72. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution to send in to the State Department for the sign?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
And at this time, we're only doing 1.
Correct.
Yeah, how much was the grant? Was 24?
25.
And how much was one sign?
Around 14, like Patrick.
Roughly 14. Any other discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Next item is the request to approve $12,500 for the Junior World Championship fishing tournament. Do I have a motion to approve $12,500 for the Junior World Championship fishing tournament?
I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
May I ask one question, Ms. Parker? I see on here the different people who are coming with this tournament. There's 41 fishermen.
Yes.
And so that'll be 41 boats, I assume.
Yes.
But then the family and friends is 220. And all kind of state youth directors, conservation directors, state president, 75.
This
Full press sponsors, 8, TDF staff, 20, just goes on. Down to 369 people.
Yes.
and that's $5,000 to they go to this banquet, we're gonna furnish that, correct? How do you, I guess, how do you determine who are all these people that are going, because it says here friends and all that, can one guy bring half a dozen friends, or how's that work?
Well, and we do and they have expanded this, and this will be our 5th year to host the Angler's Choice. And they do a banquet in the Civic Center, and they are very, the people that come in are a part of that organization. It's not an open invite for sure. These folks are, they have the credentials, they're all credentialed, and basically they're all from out of town, so they're the only ones that know about this banquet that's going on. This year, with Angler's Choice, we're going to feed 600.
Normally when you hear the veterans, you hear 500 people coming, 1,000 people coming. You were talking about 400 people coming.
Right, but this is not a regional championship or a national championship. This is a world. It's going to be followed by ESPN and some of the outdoor cable shows, and so that's why it's more of a close-knit group. And they've, like I said, they've been doing this. I think this may be the 3rd or 4th year that they've had the World Championship.
Thank you.
JP, how many nights total? It says 4 to 6 nights pre-fishing tournament time. So is that total 4 to 6?
Well, it depends on the fishermen. The fishermen, they make up their own mind how much pre-fishing that they want to do. It could be as many as 6. It could be a week. But I would say, to get used to our lake, if they don't come here for 4 nights, then they're going to be they're not serious about a championship.
On the Thursday night banquet, which Keith was mentioning, covering approximately 400 people, the $5,000 for that.
I think that's a conservative number. I think we could do a little bit better. That won't be due until the banquet is held, and of course, I was looking over the Huntsville contract, and the tournament organizers have to approve the menu, but we can make a pretty good menu for a lot less price. Again, a good barbecue dinner, it's not going to be $10 a head.
So the 5,000 would just be per plate?
Yes.
That wouldn't include a rental of the, obviously, if we have it, we're paying for it, we shouldn't have to
Right.
pay it ourselves. But, so that's just per plate, that's the
Yes.
plate price.
That's exactly right.
Is that gonna be catered locally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we would not go out of town for this.
Who makes the decision on that?
We will
We'll
do.
do the plate dinner.
We'll do we'll consult our caterers and
I mean,
get
the
them
chamber
to bid
would
on.
line that up, is that,
I'm sorry, Brent.
the chamber would line up having
Oh,
catered
yeah.
and take care of it?
We'll want anyone that does catering, no matter who it is, but we'll want bids from all of our caterers.
Any other discussion?
If I may, what was the total amount that we were talking about?
$12,500.
And would not exceed that point?
We would not exceed that. 12,000, the 7,500 would be due probably in January, February. The 5,000, whatever the banquet cost would not be due until the banquet is served.
Also, I was gonna put in discussion, you were talking about a contract, and then with the motion or being approved or whatever, that it would have to be approval contingent on the negotiated contract.
Approved by Mr. Cameron.
Any other discussion? All right, we'll vote, but I'm gonna do a roll call vote on this. Ms. Phillips, we do a roll call vote.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Wallingsford,
Yes.
Mr. Gary Stewart,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Patrick Stewart.
Yes. Next item, number 5, is the budget amendment for the fire department for $47,775. I have a motion to approve that budget amendment.
I'll make it.
Second. Any discussion? Not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. reports. Gary?
That's all right. Just don't call me late for dinner. I'm getting late. It's not gonna be long, I guarantee you. Hey, thank you, Mr. President, council members, citizens of Scottsboro, Mr. Mayor. On, I believe in taking, the reason I'm before you tonight, I believe in taking care of things locally, if all possible. That's the reason I stand before you. On the 23rd of November, I passed out, I brought forward here to the mayor's office, and also, I think it's about time you came back to work. And to Mr. Kennemer and to the council members, I passed out a records request. There's 2 items on that records request. One was a report summary from investigative services, which was contained on this document. Citizens of Scottsboro paid for that in a series of payments, evidenced by these checks. Citizens of Scottsboro paid $25 for a summary. That was part of my request, as a summary. A second document that I requested was a loss control report from the insurance carrier of what the city of Scottsboro needs to do to improve basically their practices so as not to have an insurance claim or to put forth liabilities on the citizens of the city. These documents to date have not been provided. I have been told I received a note from Mr. Kennemer, and I appreciate that, that he wasn't provided these documents. There's a question of whether the summary from the investigative services, the specific case is ID'd on here. If that record is still in existence, I would like to remind all parties in this that, there is a law on the books about records tampering. Records that once the citizens pay for them, they become part of the citizens' property. They become part of the government document repository here. Those records should be present. There seems to be some consternation as why not to supply those documents. I believe I have a right to see those documents. The insurance report, loss report. Now, again, my purpose of seeing these is to report on my blog, report as a member, as a citizen journalist, to the public. I just got to tell you, there's no excuse for this, and as some of you know, I have no qualms about going south with this, but I believe in taking care of things here locally, and I think that's what should be done. This is running on 3 weeks. I'm not going to wait any longer. I think it would not be beyond reason to ask for these documents to be provided immediately. Like tomorrow. This has gone on for 3 weeks now. And I've been very patient. I've been communicating. I appreciate Mr. Kennemer's input on this. And this is nothing personal. I'm going to report on what's happened with these events. And that's all it is. Any questions about it? Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, one of the things that he's asked for, I think I totally agree with, does not exist. The other, which is the insurance loss reports for every workers' compensation case the city has had in the years 2014, 2015, I do not believe is subject to this request. Most of those people have HIPAA privacy rights, and that would supersede, in my opinion, the public records law. I have requests in from the insurance company for any information that would not violate HIPAA law. If you want Mr. Morgan to try to get the insurance company to move according to your schedule, good luck. I can't get them to move. And we'll provide any information that you're allowed to have under the law as soon as I can get it.
Mayor, do you have anything?
Yeah, just a couple of quick things. I wanted to just update the Woods Cove Road. It's out there today. The road is now paved from the four-way stop to the railroad. There's only one layer that remains, and that's the wiring layer that needs to be finished. That was the worst part of the construction, meaning that the rest of it will be a resurfacing project, widening and drainage from here on out. This particular area where the problem was, there's more base work than anticipated. Mistakes have been made between the general and the sub as far as timing, and since those have been brought to our attention, we have been out there every day. Josh and Eddie have been out there every day. And I'm not trying to pass the buck on the general and the sub because at the end of the day, it all begins at the end of the meeting. I'll take the full responsibility for that. I'd like to apologize to the residents and the businesses and anybody that was an inconvenience, but we've not had any previous problems with the contractor, and things have happened that probably shouldn't have happened, and we were not made aware of until it was too late. And we've learned from this process, and as we do these other two projects, hopefully this won't happen again in the future. One of the things, I've had some questions about the timing of why we're doing it this time of year. Well, this is a federal and state project with those funds coming from the federal and the state. We have to work on the time frame that the state gives us, that once they approve the plans, they're in charge of the bidding process and bidding the project. And once they approve the project, then it's immediately put out for bid. They tell the contractor that once the project is out there, you got 60 days to start it. And then once you start it, you got 120 days to complete it. So I just wanted to share you this information and some of the questions that we received. We've answered every phone call, every complaint. I'm sure you've had some too. But again, it is my responsibility, and I'll take that full responsibility, and we'll do everything we can to make sure it doesn't happen again on these other projects. Finally, I received official confirmation today. I think I mentioned to you several months ago that we'd applied for a grant to extend the walking trail at Goose Pond from the Civic Center out to 79. We received a letter from Governor Bentley today saying that we had been awarded that grant. The walking trail will be extended about 1 mile from behind the Civic Center all the way out to 79. We'll be working with TVA to get those permits. Also seek additional help from them. It's an 80-20 grant, and so we're very excited and happy to get that to enhance that whole area down there. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Wallace?
Just thank everybody for coming out tonight. I don't know anything.
Mr. Smith?
I don't know.
Mr. Stewart?
No, I'd just like to thank everybody for being here tonight.
Mr. Miller?
I'd just like to say that we had the second annual Eagle Bell Square on the square this past Saturday evening, and I got there about 5:30, and there were several hundred kids waiting in line to see Santa and have buggy rides, and it was incredible to see that many people come out for the second annual event. I'm sure that they're going to work on that next year again, and kudos to those who put that on.
Thank you. Just to say something about that too, some of the local businesses that were around the square were open, and when I went into them, they were thanking everybody that was involved in doing that they had quite a bit of business because of the jingle bells in the square. Appreciate everybody coming out today. Hope to see you next week. So with that, I have a motion to adjourn.